right, guys, in order to be successful for today's instruction, I would take out both of your focus and your study guide. We're going to fill in a bunch of stuff. So I do want to remind you that tomorrow I am not going to be here because no storm is going to hold me back. No storm is holding me back. I am going to Harry Potter World.
You are?
Yes! It's going to be perfect tomorrow. It's fine. So I'm going to Harry Potter World. I think this storm is going to bring me much cooler temperatures, so I'm not going to be sweating as much. And I think people are going to be scared and not show up. So it's fine.
You should get the fast pass line.
Okay, so I'm moving seat. Charles, you're switching seats with Camden. Camden, you're switching with Charles. See it? Let's do it. Perfect. Let's go.
You just want to get rid of me.
Yes, I do. Kelly's here. She's still in the class.
Still sick.
She's just sick. So, and then I have Jalen over here, and I need that. Perfect. You'll be fine. You're 2 feet back.
Can I go behind Caroline?
I meant that.
Can I go behind Caroline?
No.
Please.
Someone sits there. No. I don't care what you want. You're sitting there. Thank you. All right. So, let's talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow, you are going to come into class, and you are going to put in your headphones and get to work. If you see my instructions, that's literally the instruction. You're going to come in, okay, and you're going to work on your outline. Now, I do have some books in the class. I have some over here, and I got some way over there by Corinne. Way in that corner. Corinne, point to them. They're right over there. So, if you did not bring your book tomorrow and you need a book, help yourself. However, I would bring your own book so you can get straight to work and you don't have to go digging because, like, some have pieces, you know, they're kind of a mess. So, tomorrow, your responsibility is to be working on your outline. Ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to be trapped at home with your family and have the responsibility of doing your outline by candlelight because the hurricane came through. So, you have 50 minutes tomorrow. Why don't you just knock it out? Put your headphones in, and that's the instructions as you see. Headphones on, and get to work. Is everyone clear on that? There's no reason for you to talk to the sub. There's no reason for you to talk to each other. Just get your work done. What?
Is that your only instrument?
Does it matter?
Just go for your followers.
No, I have 2. That is not my personal account. You will see most of it is boring school stuff. It's all boring school stuff. So that is my professional account. I do have a personal account because you got to do it for the gram. But yeah, thank you for the weirdness, Connor. So, ladies and gentlemen, tomorrow the expectation is for you to come in, put on your headphones, sit down, and start working. Get your outline done. Now, I am telling you, I have no factual basis for this besides my own opinion. I have no friends in high places. I have no idea. But I'm a betting woman. I'm betting we have no school on Tuesday. That is not good news. Because they're going to take off days from our Thanksgiving break, and I've already told you how I feel about it. I'm in New Orleans, and I got 15 people coming. Anyway, with that being said, I am posting a lecture on Tuesday on the brain. I am teaching on a hurricane day. I am expecting you to watch it. Now, as soon as we find out that there is no school on Tuesday, whether it's Sunday night, which I think would be pretty early, probably Monday morning, I will post on my Edsby, my Insta, or in Plan Lectures exactly what time I'll be posting everything so you guys can kind of have an idea of when it's coming. Does that make sense? Like, I'm not going to sit down Saturday morning and record a lecture for it. I'm going to be doing it on Tuesday because, like, you know, I don't want to, like, plan. I'd rather be with you. What?
Sorry. I felt like November, December, that whole thing of like not giving us early Mondays was forbidden.
Oh, I don't know that crap. I don't care about that crap.
There's one of our exams before.
Yeah, I don't know about that
So they
stuff.
take away our Mondays? Yeah.
It's only
We're moving on, people.
It's all
So,
September.
hi, you're going to want to hear this part. So, if we do not have school on Tuesday, and we do have school on Wednesday, you're testing on Wednesday. Yeah, I'm doing a lecture online. What else can a girl do? And you will notice this chapter is really not that hard. Neurons is hard, and the brain is hard. This is kind of trying to alleviate stress. Do we see the difference? If I put this in with neurons, it would have been too much. If I put it in with brain, it would be too much. So that's why we kind of broke it up into 3 sections. This section is not that hard. By the way, it's mostly on the nervous system. Guess what I've already kind of taught you? So half the content I've already taught you, you can figure this out. That's why you are definitely testing on Wednesday, ladies and gentlemen. Okay? Now, if we have no school on Wednesday, know that Miss Bennett is sitting in a corner of her closet crying because it's ruining my beautiful schedule. And time is like of the essence, and we don't really have time. Because if you want a month of review, which will be very tight for AP Psych, by the way, because there's a ton of content. AP Psych is not that hard. Can we agree? It makes logical sense. The problem is there's a lot of content that is completely not tied to anything. Like nothing we did week 1 has any impact on what we're doing this week. Can we agree? It's not building. It's just isolated. So there's no correlation with these things. So with that being said, you really need a month of review. Every time we have a day off, every time the schedule changes, that eats up into our review, and you need it. You need it. Because look at how much you've already learned. A lot. Imagine what you're going to have in your brain after 32 weeks of this. A lot. Don't you think you need to review? Yes. So I get that you're doing your little, like, pray to your gods and doing your little dancing in the rain to attract the storm, but please don't. Please don't. Stop doing your rain dancing. Just stop wishing for it because I need this. I need you here, and I need to be teaching because we have a lot of content. What's up?
So it'll be on Thursday?
So if it's not on Wednesday, I don't know if I'm that hardcore to go Thursday. Like, I don't know. Because that's like a lot to have. I'm aware. I'm working on it. I'm not sure where I am with it because I'm just not psychologically prepared to miss 2 days. I'm not okay with 1 day. I'm not absolutely horrifically opposed to 2 days off. But no one cares about my opinion. So I'm not really sure. But if you keep an eye on my Edsby, my Insta, or S. Bennett Plant Lectures, whatever. If you keep an eye on that, I'm going to keep you updated every single day about what is happening in my class. Now, I am not your number 1 source for Hillsborough County news. You know that. I don't care what Hillsborough County is doing. I only care what I'm doing and what my kids are doing. Someone's like, oh, are you going to be the first one to post if we have no school? No. I have no authority. No. I have no idea anything. But I do care about my kids, and I will be posting. So you need to be watching my videos, and you need to be following along. I'm just warning you right now. My best friend is probably not flying home. She packed extra stuff. She knows she's not going home Monday. Her flight's at like 12:30, and the storm's supposed to hit us at 2. She's not leaving on Monday, yeah. You're going to get the bands.
I don't think they would let a plane take off.
Yeah, there's going to be a big problem. So, we'll see. My girl has planned extra clothes. She's going to be fine. Anyway, with that being said, I'm warning you now. When you watch my video, you will hear heckling in the background. That will be my husband and my best friend sitting on the couch booing me as I'm recording because I live in a very tiny little condo, and they will be yelling terrible things. So I'm warning you. I also have 2 cats and a dog in a tiny little house. So it is a little farm. And you will hear me cursing at Donut because she just lies down in the middle of things. Duncan will be scratching at my neck because that's who she is as a person. And then there will be Toby, who will be chasing Duncan, Donut, and Toby. And then Toby will be chasing the cats. So it'll be quite a spectacle, the video. So it could be some entertainment. But you definitely need to watch because there will be content. Is everyone clear? So if we have no school on Tuesday, you need to be checking. I will be posting a video, and I am holding you responsible for it. I don't think we'll have 2 days off because by the time the storm gets to us, it's a 1. And let's be honest. The only reason it's a 4 now is because I was talking shit about the storm. I said it's only a 2, so who cares? And then it went up to a 3. And then I was like, it's only a 3. It's going to hit the east on the 3, and then it'll be nothing. And now it's a 4. So, and I've also been talking about all crap today, so it's going to be a 5.
So during Irma, you were like, we're not getting any school. This is ridiculous. We got like a week.
Thank you, Camden. Oh, yeah, you guys, were you? Yeah, you're the generation that I taught through the hurricanes.
Irma was a weird.
I taught through the hurricanes, people. Yeah, I did.
They
So,
expected us to have it like ready.
yeah. So, if you think we're just going to hang out and just Netflix and eat our snacks in peace in our homes, you're wrong. No.
Like it's I think we should all just go to school.
Yeah. Yes, we should all just come to school. It'll be easier. All right, let's do this. Okay, so let's talk about the nervous system because my computer is not working and everything sucks. Okay, so at the very top, we're going to do the nervous system. The nervous system is a huge part of your of this week's content. Like I said, this is kind of like the leftover stuff from this week, from the whole chapter. It's divided up into 3 weeks. I think you figured that out by now. First week was obviously neurons. Second week is your nervous system, which is kind of and then you have a huge week next week. Okay, it's a huge week next week because it's all parts of the brain. Okay, and that is a very big week. You know how we worked really quick on that neuron? Yeah. We have another big project that we're going to do for this one. What's up, Nina?
Oh, I'm getting switched into this class.
Okay, well, okay. Oh, well, Sydney found you an extra seat. She doesn't seem happy about it. With that huge grin across her face. Yes, you can sit down. That was probably where I was going to put you anyway. Okay, here we go. So our nervous system is broken up into 2 components. We have the central nervous system and the peripheral nervous system. Of course, our central nervous system is the spine and brain. Sydney, less enthusiasm, please. Okay, so when we talk about the central nervous system, you need to know that it uses interneurons to process all information received from the peripheral nervous system. Okay, so we're even going to simplify it even more. So when we look at it, the brain is going to interpret and store information. And stores information. And makes all decisions. Then you have your spine. And this connects the brain to the body and reacts with reflexes. There you go. All right. So now we're going to start with the peripheral. So your peripheral is, in parentheses, everything not, everything but should be the word, but that's fine. Anything but the brain and spinal cord. Okay, it brings the body to the body's info to the brain. Brings the body's info to the brain. That's what your peripheral nervous system does. Now, your peripheral nervous system is broken up into 2 sections. What is one of those sections? Somatic or autonomic. Perfect. So autonomic looks like automatic, and if it's automatic, you do it without. There you go. So autonomic is your first subset of the peripheral nervous system. It is automatic, and it regulates everything in your body that is involuntary. Okay, and examples of this is what? Heartbeat for sure, digestion, breathing, all that stuff. All the things we do all the time that we don't think about. So that's your autonomic. Okay. Your peripheral nervous system also is in charge of the somatic. Okay. And your somatic controls all of your voluntary movements. Examples would be, what are some voluntary movements we do? Fine, raising your hand, raising arm, walking. What else do we do? Kicking? Wow, we got aggressive real quick. Okay, kicking it is. Sure. So in parentheses, I'm going to write muscles by choice. Muscles move by choice. That's what somatic do. Anything you want to do and you control the movement of it, it's by choice, which means it has to be the somatic nervous system. All right. Then, so we have the peripheral nervous system, which is everything outside of our brain and spinal cord, and it's broken down into two areas, your autonomic and your somatic. Now, your autonomic is broken down into two other areas. The first one is, of course, your parasympathetic. Okay, now your parasympathetic, it maintains body functions under, in quotes, normal conditions. Under normal conditions. Example is going to be your normal heartbeat, normal blood pressure, and normal body temp. Okay, now it's important that you understand that your parasympathetic calms you down. Okay, it calms you down in order to get back. I don't know what happened there. It calms you down. Now, you do need to know that under your autonomic, there's also your sympathetic. So you have parasympathetic, and then you have your sympathetic nervous system. Your sympathetic nervous system prepares your body to react and to use energy in times of stress. Okay, so examples of this would be sweating, obviously, high blood pressure, and rapid pulse. Now, you need to know this calms you down, this stresses you up. This stresses you out. So that parasympathetic calms you down, sympathetic stresses you out. Okay, now both your parasympathetic and your sympathetic are here to both balance balance you out to achieve homeostasis. To achieve homeostasis. What is homeostasis? Anyone know? What is it, Margot?
It's like your body being regulated all the time.
Yeah, homeostasis. Your body is balanced. It is like you're not full, but you're not hungry. Like you're not hot, but you're not cold. You're just comfortable. You're not stressed, but you're not like fried either. It's that perfect blend. Now, I have the ability, so I'm going to do it. If you have the ability, I would suggest doing it as well. I have 3 colors, so I'm going to use 3 colors to identify my stuff. If you don't, you'll live. But maybe your neighbor will let you do it. So, for your central neurons, I'm going to make it blue for me. My central nervous system. I need to know that my central nervous system is the brain and the spine. So both of them are going to be blue. Okay? So, in my peripheral nervous system for me is going to be green. So I'm going to put green on my peripheral nervous system, and I'm going to box in my autonomic. And of course my somatic. Okay? And then, finally, I am going to use orange for our parasympathetic, so I understand that they are both coming from autonomic. So, just to help differentiate some stuff. So, you need to make sure that you understand how these are grouped, because I will tell you right now, it is most of your test is this question right here. They're just asking you questions about what is where and what is happening. Everyone okay?
Thanks.
Cool. All right. Cool. Perfect. Flip it over. Shall we fill in our little waves, my darlings?
Yep.
Yes? Let's do it. Okay. All right. So, for your first wave, mine is not great. For case study, deep lesioning. Ladies and gentlemen, what deep lesioning is they are going to, I'm pulling up something that will help you. So you can see. So just listen, I will show you exactly what you need to write down here in a moment. A deep lesioning is, for case studies, is when what they do is they drill open your skull, because you do know it's really thick, right? So what they do is they cut the skin, then they drill a hole into your skull, then they stick an electrode. An electrode is just like a metal stick, yeah, with a point at the end of it that has an electrical current. So at the end of the tip, it just burns a hole in your brain. So deep lesioning is when they burn a hole in a certain part of your brain. If you burn a hole in your brain, what floods it? Blood. That's why it's called a deep lesion, is because it's flooded with blood after that fact, after that happens. So what you need to know is for deep lesioning, it's used during, it is used for case studies, and it is when they stick an electrode into your brain and burn a hole with the electrical current. Okay, so deep lesioning. Here we go. Deep lesioning is when you insert a wire into the brain to destroy tissue. This shows you after the event. Okay, so the impact of it, and you do need to know this. From here on out, as you can see, I already got the answers. Hi, do not get ahead of me. As you see, I'm just handing you the answers today. Can we agree? You can see that I am helping you in great many ways. And this is on my video. So if you don't get it today, where is it already sitting? So I'm helping you, so please don't get ahead of me. Yes? Okay, so with the deep lesioning, what you need to know is that how the brain changes after the deep lesioning, and you need to write this down, how the brain changes after the deep lesioning shows us what part of the brain was being controlled. The impact of the deep lesioning shows us what part of the brain it was controlling. How often do you think this happens? Not often at all. It is very, very dangerous. However, it's coming back into fashion. Things go in and out of fashion all the time, correct? Okay. With that being said, this is now being used for depression, actually, a lot. So let's go to EEG, which is your next one. EEG records brain activity, and I would make activity big, just like how I have it. Anyone here ever had their brain activity tracked? There you go. Okay, it's pretty cool. Sometimes they put like a little skull unit on you. Do they do the whole cap, or do they just put 2 on your temples?
2 on the temples.
There you go. So you didn't look like a complete wackadoodle. That's nice. Okay. Sometimes they do a whole little skull cap for them. Now, EEG tracks brain activity, and there's electrodes are attached to your skull externally. So they're not drilling into your brain, which is really nice, because some of these they are. This one obviously is not. Okay, to track your brain waves. This tracks sleep, brain waves, seizures. Anytime you see someone who falls asleep and has seizures all the time. Epileptic, yeah. Anyone who's going into an epileptic state, they typically have EEGs on them, and most times to track their brain activity and see how much damage was done. Okay, now you do need to know what they kind of look like. Okay, our brain waves when we're relaxing are nice and go. During times of stress, our brain waves are super peaked, and that's what you need to know. So you should have an example, because on your test on Wednesday, because damn it, we're doing this, on Wednesday you're going to see examples what are these report types, from what machine do these types of reports come from, and it'll be EKG, because it'll have brain scans. This is like brain waves, and it'll show you different waves. You'll say, oh, it's an EEG. Any questions on EEG? Everyone okay? All right, let's look at CT scans. They show the physical, and I would absolutely underline physical, just like I have done, condition of the brain. A CT scan are known as X-rays, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, do X-rays explain why something happened, or they just explain what did happen? What did happen. So, like for instance, Grey's Anatomy is so good for this. Grey's Anatomy always has like the craziest medical stuff on there. Like there was one episode, and I don't like Grey's Anatomy. I stopped watching it after season 2. But one guy gets like a nail in his head. Okay? Does it explain to us why the nail is there? No, but all we can see is where the nail is. It gives you a perfect image of the nail. Okay? Now, it can show you tumors, abnormal brain structure, and see if you have a nail in your brain. See? Oh, I used this example when I wrote this last time. Oh my God. I love it when it comes together. Okay? It can't show you the depth. It can't show you the impact. It can't show you the cognitive response, but it can show you exactly what's in your brain. It's an X-ray machine, ladies and gentlemen. That's it. How many of you, raise your hand if you've gotten an X-ray before? Yeah, I've gotten like 10,000 of them. I break things. Like all the time. Shatter, sprain, all that stuff. Okay, so CT scans just show you the physical outcome of something. And then you have an MRI scan. Anyone here done an MRI? That's in that like tube-like thing, and it goes wah.
If you move, you gotta start.
Yeah, you gotta start all over again. That's what it's. Am I wrong on how it sounds?
No.
Exactly, and it's awful. And if you move, everything's ruined. It's so boring, and it's so awkward. Ugh, it's the worst.
Because you're by yourself.
Yeah, and it's like a weird
And
machine.
if you're claustrophobic, it's bad.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Anyway, so an MRI shows the most detail. You need to know that. You need to know that MRIs are known for their details, which is why which is why we use them so much in our brain scans, because it allows us to understand the complexity and the layering of the body. Because when you look at a CT scan, all you see is, like, for your brain on a CT scan, it's like a vacant space. And then a nail. Okay? So you can say, oh shit, there's a nail, right? That's what you say. On a CT, on an MRI, you can see the different layers of the brain and the different lobes of the brain, and you can see from the MRI what exact part of the brain it's in. Instead of saying, oh, there's a nail, oh, it's in the frontal lobe, it's having an impact on the language component of it. So you need to know that MRIs are going to have the most detail, and it uses radio waves, which is why it makes that's why it makes that noise. You should see me teaching AP World. It is not this exciting. AP World sucks. All right, here we go. PET scans. PET scans. This shows you where brain activity is occurring. Now, if I've already written all this stuff down and I'm doing all this stuff for you, should you have absolutely everything I have down? Yes. Everything. Every word down, because I'm literally spoon feeding you people. PET scans show where brain activity is happening. Anyone here ever gone to the doctor and drank this like chalky, disgusting mess inside a machine? No? No one's done a PET scan? Weird. Usually when you're like little kids. I've done one. They're really disgusting. Anyway, so you take when you take a PET scan, you're not allowed to eat before you go. Like, you have to wait. You can't eat for like 12 hours beforehand, and then you go, and then they give you this like chalky white liquid. It's like powdered milk that's radioactive, because it is radioactive, and you have to chug it, the whole thing down. It's disgusting, and there's like chunks in it. Anyway, so you have to drink this literally radioactive. Like, it is radioactive. You sit there and you drink it, and then you have to wait 30 minutes until it hits your bloodstream, and then all that radioactive matter that you just digested that's now in your bloodstream, it's now going through your body. So now when you sit in a PET scan machine, it's tracking where those radioactive components that are now in your blood are. So if I show you a scary picture, like, zombie, okay? All of a sudden, the part of your brain where all of your fear is processed, guess what lights up with radioactive matter? That part of your brain. So it allows us to see what part of the brain is functioning during certain thoughts. Like when you think of the love of your life, whoever that is, okay? And that part of your brain in your frontal lobe is going to light up. When you start thinking of math, your right hemisphere is going to light up. When you start thinking about music and culture, your left hemisphere lights up. It allows us to track what part of the brain is working at what time. Isn't that cool? You don't care. Like, for instance, that we see, we've used PET scans with serial mass murderers and stuff like that. I guess serial mass murderers is redundant, but mass murderers, we've done it with them. And in the same place where mass murderers talk about their victims and the crimes they did is the same place where a heroin addict talks about drugs. Killing people is as addictive to those people as doing like hardcore drugs like heroin and opium. The same exact part of the brain lights up. Isn't that crazy? Oh, you people, you don't even care. This is quality information here. Thank you. All right, an fMRI shows the movie of oxygen moving throughout your brain. Okay? It's literally showing how your brain is sending its oxygen, which tells us if there's a blockage. We're starting to hear how people have been there's been preventative measures to stop people from having like heart attacks, strokes, and clots, blood clots, and all that stuff. Yes? Mm-hmm. How do they find it is by fMRIs. It's little movies where they track all the stuff moving in your body, and they can figure out where there's a problem, or like where there's a leak. They use fMRIs. If you're losing like tons of blood, they'll just shoot you up with some fMRI juice. I forget what it's called. You don't need to know it. And then they'll just wait for you to pool somewhere, and they'll be like, "Oh, I found the hole." You don't think that's cool?
I think it's cool.
So cool.
There were some genuinely good stories in there, and you people just do not care. It's fine. I just did half of your study guide. Focus, did I not? Literally. Now, by the way, if you look at number 2, you've already answered that question, but just in a different way. A reflex arc. What is a reflex arc? Who can raise their hand and tell me what a reflex arc? I already taught you it. I sat right here and taught you it. Margot.
The path in which the reflex travels
Yeah, so it goes from my knee to my
to your spine.
spine and then bounces back. There you go. That's a reflex arc, ladies and gentlemen. What do you got? Of course, my darling. There you go. I will tell you that most of your tests on Thursday, like pretty much the entirety of your test, is what I did today. Do you see why this content's really not that bad? Hello? Do you see why I'm really pushing for a Wednesday test? Because for the parts of the brain is really hard. Like the thalamus, the hypothalamus, like the medulla. It's nasty. Don't worry, we're doing a brain diagram together.
Coloring.
Yeah, we're coloring.
So then.
Yes, we're gonna color. We're gonna make little brains together, and that'll help for sure. But it's a lot, and the faster we get to, the more time we have for parts of the brain, the better it is. When this stuff just isn't that hard, can we agree? Especially when I've just like spoon-fed you the information. So tomorrow, I want a positive feedback from my substitute, who says, "Oh my God, they sat there and ignored me the whole time." That's exactly what I want. I want a positive feedback. See ya. Because when I'm cranky, the world burns. See ya. I'll see you on Tuesday.
See you on Thursday.
Ugh. How was that helpful?